Now should be a little red light on the screen over there.
Yeah. And
we're rolling.
Hey.
Welcome back,
we're
everybody.
back.
We're back after a summer of fun.
so good to see you all again.
Yeah. These guys went on a bicycle trip to Ohio. Apparently, they're not going to talk about it. Or?
Well, there was a lot of women involved. We can't talk about
it. Okay.
We can't. That's right. And they live in Ohio, so we.
And they will be watching this.
I will point out, though, that 2 women in their 50s can outride men who are nearly 70.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for them.
And that was proven day after day after day.
Day after day. Correctly. Let's see. Okay. Well.
So.
Well, you were talking about the prices of houses. You could start there.
Prices of houses, yes. On my block, they've gone down, and I'm trying to get my house reduced in value so that I pay lower property tax.
Well, and you and Sarah made a big decision, I think.
Yeah, we're going to stay in the house as long as possible. If that's what you mean by the decision.
Yes,
yes. We're going to stay there as long as possible.
As long as you can keep driving those prices down.
As long as I keep driving the prices down. No. As long as it's a good place to live, which it is, and we like everybody on the street, and it's close to the rapid transit, which is, light rail, and so we'll do all right.
And Don, you've got to talk about your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a realtor just this past week. It was actually a woman that my wife met in her knitting group, and it turned out to be a very nice person. And so, but wow, what you have to do to get your house ready. Literally, after I saw you guys this morning, I called up an air conditioning person to come look. I want to see if that's worth doing, if get enough of it back.
You mean central AC?
Yep.
You don't have any?
Yeah, we don't even have it.
You're preparing all this for the next people?
For the next people.
Well,
and if the price is not too high, then it makes it an inducement. Someone to do the driveway, someone to put glass blocks in the basement windows, someone to paint the house, a handyman to come and repair some of the wood on the outside is not in good shape, and so anyway, and I went down to Shaker Housing, and they're going to come out and do a point of sale inspection, and then I told you there has to be this other kind of inspection that somebody comes afterwards and makes. Friends of mine had 50-page report things to do on their house. This was after the city of Cleveland Heights did theirs.
Oh boy.
So we are starting off, and at the moment we take the money from our equity loan, and the sale of the house will put the money back in this, we hope, and pay for the other house that we now have. So
Don will be leaving this part of the woods shortly, like a year or two.
No, I'm going into the woods. Remember I told you?
Going into the woods, that's right. He lives down in a farm.
But he'll be back once a week.
Mm-hmm.
The only question is, how will he be back?
Mm-hmm.
Living in a cardboard box under a bridge?
Well, I think our viewers would be interested. We live in an affluent community. At one time, it was one of the 5 wealthiest communities in the United States.
It was the highest income community in 1962.
And I said, my level of wealth is not equivalent and not where much of the community is. So rather than having a house in Florida or California, I will have a second house. We're going to move to this other house for our retirement years. But we need to come back to see grandchildren. So we've decided to get a trailer and park it on a lot. And well, it's what we can afford. We'll find an acre of land or less.
Not in Shaker.
No, not in Shaker Heights. And somewhere. And Baird suggested maybe a box.
Box would be good.
Rapid right away.
I see no problem
people
with
have
that.
done that. There's certainly not. There's precedent
Well, it wasn't
for
the football season. You could put it out on the football field.
So anyway, that's what's happening in my life. What's happening in yours, Harold?
Nothing is happening.
Harold doesn't have a life where
I would
things
just
happen.
like to say nothing is happening.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, you've been having repair people come to your house.
Well, that's because I've been paralyzed for the last 3 years in terms of taking it. not.
Well, I didn't know.
Well,
Don't send your cards and letters in.
I've been paralyzed into inaction. So I have had numerous home improvement projects that have been growing. I had prayed that they would heal themselves, but they they have not done that. Drywall holes do not heal themselves. So
No.
yes, I've had a string of people in to paint and to do tuck pointing and to do the kinds of things that when they're done, you just have absolutely no satisfaction, because all you've done is say, okay, I'm back to square one. Why did I even bother?
Yeah. Well, we had our bathtub resurfaced this morning.
What?
Well,
At least you'll get some use out of that.
That's right. A man came in and he spent all morning putting what looks like enamel on its some other
It
thing.
wasn't one of those inserts.
No, not an insert. No, he had the whatever they do.
Yeah.
He doesn't do
And this is part of your list stuff.
part of the list.
Don't you feel somewhat sad that this perfect house will appear only for the next person? That you could have done this, say, a couple of years ago,
We could have. We could have done.
could have enjoyed all of this yourself.
We probably should have done it many years ago when our income was such that we could pay for it. Now, the only way it's paid for is you sell the house. That pays for it. But in this market, you have to do that in order to get somebody to take over.
But if everybody's trying to be number one, in other words, everybody's trying to get their house to be number one to look at, then everybody's trying to
Yeah.
jump over everybody else.
And they say, the realtor said, that if you sell your house within 60 days after it goes on the market, that's when people look at it and you're going to get the most hits. And her job is to evaluate the market, know what price you should ask, set it, and then try to sell that house in 60 days. Because after 60 days, it gets much harder. I don't know what would be harder if you didn't sell your house; it just would not be sold. But anyway, that's what'll pay for the repair. It's just kind of. But I do wish we could have lived in it. It would have been nice to have air conditioning. No, it wouldn't. We chose not to have air conditioning all along. We never wanted to spend the money.
We have air conditioning in our house, but we haven't turned it on this summer. And if we do
You have
turn it
not
on,
turned it on at all this summer?
no, I just don't like it. And Sarah can live pretty much without it. And
Don't you have to live on the first floor during?
no, I grew up in Cincinnati, and there this is gorgeous weather compared to living in Cincinnati.
But we do have the.
She lived in Washington for a while, and those places are very, very muggy. So we have it, and we've used it from time to time, but no, not this year. And hopefully we get through without using it. I don't like it. It's too cold. And my sister said, "Well, that's what it's supposed to be." Well, yes, and that's why I don't like it.
Can't you set air conditioning for like 74 degrees?
Yeah, but here's the problem is cold air falls, and
Yeah.
so it comes rushing out of the bedroom and into the first floor. So you're eating in a
Oh,
you're eating in this freezer and sleeping up there where it's pretty warm. And I close the doors and reverse the fan and all that, and it still doesn't work.
okay. All right.
But I'm not complaining about
Are
it.
you also trying to get along without running the air conditioner because of expenses?
I suppose, but we just don't like it. Neither of us like it a whole lot. I think it's very, very hot and muggy. The muggy is the mugginess, not the heat so much, it's the mugginess. And we'll see. August is the big month where it tends to get kind of hot. We'll see.
You said you've been going up to the swimming pool at noontime?
It varies from noon to 4 when I have time, yeah.
Does that help beat the heat?
Oh yeah, the water's great. But 10 minutes after you're out, you're hot.
Well, you should try what we learned on the bike trip.
What was that?
They have these big trucks have showers inside, and you go in, you take your shower. It's very nice. You have hot water, cold water, and everything. But you then, when you've had your shower, you just let it run on all the clothes you're going to put on, and you come out and you just kind of wick dry. You could try that. Get back in the pool with your clothes.
No, I don't think so.
And then
I
you're
can
dry.
assure you that when Don has moved to Southern Ohio and then he comes up for that day, he'll go and he'll wash his clothes,
The whole thing.
use the.
Well, I think a future film, when we get our little trailer, and I think we want to have one of these sessions be out there and I show people they might like to try it themselves.
Sure.
It's an economical way to live. But see, we're only going to be 1 day a week up here, so it's not like we could rent an apartment, but the idea is to have our monthly expense be less than what it is to live here. Our grandchildren are here, so we have to come back. But maybe we'll come back. And I'll be continuing to work, so we'll have a trailer. And maybe even a tomato plant or something like that outside the door. You know, a few plants.
Outside the door where?
You know, the trailer door. You should come out.
Oh.
But anyway, a few things to make it nice.
Make it nice. Yes.
Maybe we should stop here. You know,
Did you inquire?
No, go ahead. No, did I inquire about what?
Did you inquire of Baird and Sarah as to whether maybe you could just stay in their house 1 day a week?
That's out of the question.
Why?
There's no need to inquire.
So I guess you didn't inquire.
No, I knew
I mean,
better.
We have rates posted on the door.
Because Don did ask me about it, and I said
He said no.
It's out of the question too?
Although $1,000 a night, I could probably be
Yeah, you could be
persuaded.
swayed. You could be swayed.
Do you have air conditioning?
No, so that's what we'll do. We don't want to live with our children when we come back for that day a week.
No.
Everybody says, "Oh yeah, come on," but I know better.
Yeah.
Than that, I think. But nobody that I know who's done it has ever said that's a good idea.
Right.
We stayed at Peter and Oliver's houses because it's too expensive to get a hotel room, and we only go for maybe 3 or 4 nights at the most. And the kids double up in other beds. Of course, they're small. You know, they're only between 8 and a couple of months. That's not. But I'm not going to get older. That won't be possible. But it's really nice to do that. It's nice of them to do that. But your kids are much older than that.
Yeah, but spending a lot of time with your children and living with your children from both sides, for the child having us and us having, I don't think that's it's a big adjustment
Routinely
for most people.
once a week coming in and saying, "We're here to disrupt your routine."
Yeah, I
by
guess
the way,
once a week would be kind of tough.
Tell us everything that's happening in your marriage, because we'll help.
Well, and you hear conversations that you shouldn't hear.
Right,
and stuff like that.
exactly. Like,
mean,
so, who are you talking to?
Yeah, who is that?
Well, you'll enjoy it in your little, what do you call it?
Well, I'm thinking of a small Airstream. They called them a Bambi, I think, years
Bambi.
ago. Those little one. Harold knows about them. And everything pulls out.
Oh,
Or
and
something.
you pull them behind.
I figure the market for trailers has got to be like the housing market and worse.
We went down to South Carolina. My gosh, they were lined up in all these huge, but those are those big fat things.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but those aren't going to be very good in the winter. Don't you think the wind will come right through that metal and you'll be in there?
Stay tuned.
Limbs will be frozen. I can see it now. Picture a couple frozen in Geauga County.
No, I really don't think it'll be that way.
You bet. Yeah, I'm sure you don't think it'll be that way. Elderly couple found frozen. Well, that'll be. And they'll say, "Do you know these people?" And I say, "Well, yes, I did at one time."
But I lost track.
I lost track of them, and now look at them.
Of course, the other variation of it, you move your trailer from state park to state park. People do that. That's been going on for several decades. So.
Well, would you come up here for the holidays, wouldn't you? That'd be about a week.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know.
You're not getting any younger today.
That's just like camping. I have a down sleeping bag.
Oh, that'll do it. Man's in.
Well, anyway, that's
good.
That's what it looks like from here.
Till next time.
Yeah, till next time.
Okay.
All right.